shadowed under Cami and the current staff. I have seen how the office operates on a daily basis, and have gotten an introduction, an idea of how the other people in the office work. And this has been useful because I'm now familiar with each area of the office and all the duties and responsibilities that each employee has in the office. Hopefully, I will have opportunities to interact with other counties and learn helpful things that those counties do at the state meetings. I will also hopefully will have the opportunity to meet with other clerks and learn of new approaches that they use in their offices as well.
Oh, a ton. Thanks, Ben.
Yep.
Yes, I have. I did not go to Bureau County Clerk's office for one reason. I didn't want the candidates to feel uncomfortable, or the clerks to feel uncomfortable being a candidate for Bureau County Clerk. So I stayed away, and I went talked to Joanne Corretto from LaSalle County, and I spoke with Dan Kuhn from Putnam County, and I called Barbara Link from Henry County. And most of them gave me some great information. One of the things Joanne was saying was, ironically, about cybersecurity, that they want to hold a state class. There's going to be grant money coming in after January, and we're going to be holding some cybersecurity classes to keep everybody in the office up to par. One of the things she said is that the county clerk is next to the chairman at the board meetings. Ironically, I was an elected official, the first female in Labor's Local 393 as a recording secretary, so I did all the minutes, read all the minutes, and did all the roll calls. I attended a meeting of the board meeting and watched what she did, and I was very comfortable knowing that if elected, that's what I would be doing as well. I felt very at home there. She also, and Dan talked to me about state taxes, and that even though we don't write the check, that we are a big part of that, mainly taking the phone calls from angry people that don't like what's going on. So he did one of the most important things that I did not know, and that Joanne told me to get involved in, was the Illinois Association of County Clerks and Recorders. She said, these are going to be my family. These are who I'm going to go to. So be very involved, attend their meetings, and be involved. One of the other things was a death certificate, birth certificate, marriage license, the vital records that we control. I believe Cami, she said we're called slashers here in Bureau County because we are Bureau County Clerk / Recorder, where LaSalle County is, they have two separate offices for that. But I didn't know that a lot of the funds, why they were so high and what they were. I went to the Genealogical Society, and that was one of the questions somebody has asked me. And I said, no, I didn't know. We are $10 and $11 online, $18 for LaSalle County. And some of these, the reason why they're high is, people wanted to know, is some of these go into funds. Marriage license, a Domestic Violence Act fund. I didn't know that. I also didn't know that they had a cemetery fund, a state fund cemetery, where the death certificates go. That's why they're a little higher. So, yeah, we had a great conversation with both of them. Barbara Link is going to get back to me, and again, it's very interesting, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for those answers. And number 3, something from within the group that we talk about a lot. Do you believe that a political affiliation has a bearing on this position? Why or why not?
Oh, am I going again?
Yeah. It's not a perfect system, but...
That's okay. It's working, Stephanie, and it's great. Absolutely not. That's one of the things that I will hold true to what I say. I'm a very honest person, and that office is open to the public. No partisanship. I would never ask somebody what they were. Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? Are you independent? What your race is? You know, it is the doors are open to the county clerk's office for anyone. And I really like this little saying: giving to the public to serve they need, and providing accurate information And it's better to be honest than to not know what you're talking about. But you will find the answer, and that's what I would do. If I don't know something, I will count on my county clerks to help me out, show me the way, or I will find the answer, and I will get back to you with the answer. We deal with a lot of confidential information there, and that's what I deal with every single day with my job that I have now, with being a human resource at the nuclear facilities. I do all 6 of them in Illinois, and one of the most important things is the confidentiality of the workers that work in there. We have a lot of access there, and we should, because we're allowing these people to come into our nuclear plants to work, changing fuel. And I will continue to uphold the honesty and integrity that has been served here. Cammie served for a long time because of that. And that's what I continue to do as your next county clerk. Thank you.
My answer would be yes and no. I believe that a political affiliation can have a bearing on the position when it comes to certain choices and decision making. I will seek, for example, like with numbers for a budget, I will seek to always be conservative in my spending, and I will work within the budget and fees that are in place currently. However, as the county clerk, I also understand how critical it is for me to be unbiased when it comes to political party. I won't be able to do, and I will not do any favors for one party versus another. And what I do for one person that might be of a certain party, I will do for the other as well.
Political affiliation ends the day after the election, bottom line. So because of the system that we have, we are required, or we choose parties to help us get elected. But once we are elected, we serve all the people of the county, not the Democrats, not the Republicans, not the independents. We serve all people, and we need to serve them all equally. And so if I am given the opportunity and the honor to be able to serve as your next Bureau County Treasurer, the only question that's going to be asked of somebody when they walk into the office is, how may I help you, regardless of anything else. Thank you.
The Treasurer's job should be a nonpartisan position. I myself do not have a political agenda for the future. I'm ready to stay in Bureau County and serve the public. The duties of the Treasurer's office are set by state statute and by board county policies and procedures. I don't believe in a lot of political fluff in my speeches. I get to the point, tell you what I think, and move on. The voters should assess the qualifications and the skills of the candidates and base their vote upon those attributes. Keep it simple. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Those are the questions from the voices. I'm going to open it up to the floor. And sir.
I guess my question to the treasurer candidates, is it the responsibility of the treasurer's office to, although I understand how concerned you might be about people's individual taxes that they're paying on the properties, but is it the responsibility of the treasurer's office to go out and contact those people and find out why they're struggling? And if so, how much more additional money is that going to cost Bureau County to do such projects like that?
Thanks for
I believe that it's the responsibility to inform the property owners that their taxes are delinquent. They're sent, I think, at least 2 notices. I don't think it's the responsibility of the Treasurer's office to go invade a person's personal space to find out about their finances and help them out. That it's not our job and duty. If they have issues financially, we can't babysit every taxpayer and tell them how to spend their money, how to make their money, how to cut their expenses so they can just pay their property taxes. I think it's the purpose of owning property is to take responsibility for owning the property and paying the taxes on it, being a responsible taxpayer.
I'll go ahead, make sure that everybody can understand I'm here. No, it is not the responsibility. So it is something that I'm willing to do as a treasurer to help out our residents, and especially our elderly residents on a fixed income. And yes, it could be invasive, but if they say no, get out of my space and I'm not interested in any help that you are offering, then I'm done, because that is their choice. However, there may be things and opportunities that they are unaware of that could help them out. Now, I think the other part of what you asked, Jerry, is whether or not there would be a cost associated with that to the county. The only cost is going to be the salary that I receive as county treasurer. I'm not asking the other employees to go out and do that. That is something that I would be willing to take on myself. And so no, there would be no extra costs associated with that specific reaching out to residents to see if there's something that we might be able to do to help them out.
What's the status of the security of our election system in the county?
I have talked to Cammie about that, and I believe our status of our security of our election system here in Bureau County is very safe. I know a lot of people, I think, have wondered why we don't go to more online stuff, and that's because of cybersecurity and be able to keep stuff safe and results reliable. So from what I understand from Cammie is that everything is safe and very reliable.
Okay, I do trust in the thing, and I do not know that question. That's why when I was speaking with the other county clerks, that's one of the questions I asked, and that's how we came to the cybersecurity question about our training that the state is going to grant money to us. I would assume that things have been on the up and going. Like I said, Cammie has been an elected official here for 20 plus years, so I trust that she's been doing everything well as well as our county clerk system. But I can find that answer for you, and if you give me a chance, and I will get back to you on that. Thank you.
Am I allowed to ask a question of only one of the candidates?
No, but not at this point. I am sure there are plenty of chances after this for personal conversations or individual conversations, but for the group, we prefer that.
My question would not be able to be answered by the other candidate. It would not apply to the other candidates.
Okay. All right. Other questions?
You all have spoke about what you've been doing, what your experience is. Do you all look at these jobs as full-time posts? Will you be continuing with any part of what you've been doing? And then I can look this up if you can tell me, what do these posts pay?
I can go ahead, sir.
So, should I be elected, I will be retiring from my current position. I am a school counselor at Bureau Valley. The treasurer's position is meant to be a full-time position. That will become my full-time job. Now, because of where I work, it would not be fair to the people that I work with for me to end my affiliation with the school and walk away the day after the election should I be elected. The place where that makes sense for that to happen is going to be between semesters, so that would be at Christmas time. I would resign my current position. My intention is to retire from teaching and to work full-time as the county treasurer.
Currently, I have my own CPA practice. I do intend to maintain that practice. Right now, it's mainly staffed by myself and my wife, but I intend to refocus my career goals to dedicate my full time to the treasurer's office and hire staff within my CPA practice to handle the work that I'm not able to do because I'm at the treasurer's office.
I would currently I work at Elmore's, and if elected, I would assume office as first Monday in December, and I would be able to take office that very first day. And it would be my new career. That would be my job, would be as your full-time county clerk. So that's everything.
And I too, November 7th, if elected, I will leave the nuclear industry that I've been at for 6 years. I love my job, I love what I do, I love hiring these gentlemen to help them get in to make work during their off seasons, and I will leave the nuclear facility November 7th. I actually am done on the 31st with this outage. Dresden is our last outage, so I will be off for 2 months prior to it kicking off in January, yes. But I would devote all my time to the Bureau County residents and the county clerk's office.
I haven't heard any mention of pay.
Oh, I don't even know what the pay is, sir. That was not one of the questions that I ever asked.
Okay.
One of the things I wanted to do was run for office and run for county clerk, so I don't even know what the pay would be.
Can't give you the exact number. It's somewhere around 65,000, I believe. For the treasurers and the clerk's office, if I remember correctly, or the treasurer and the clerk receive very similar pay. So one of the other things that happens with both the clerk and also the treasurer is there is stipend that is received by both offices from the state of Illinois. And particularly there is a separate fund that is set up. And as long as the General Assembly is willing and able to fund that fund, then that stipend is sent out to the county clerks and also the treasurers. So it ends up being somewhere in the rough vicinity of around $70,000, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I have a board member back here who would like to share, if you're open to that.
The set salary for 2019 for both positions is $65,083 set in the budget. Right there.
Other questions?
Stephanie, I do. For all the candidates, what is the one or two items in one word you would want the taxpayers to take with them to the polls that you want to be noted for?
2 words.
First two separate, like transparency, honesty,
Yeah.
whatever.
You want to go
I
now?
get those two.
Y'all can't use them, they've already been taken.
I would say my 2 words would just be continuing the excellence.
So many words. I would say fairness and honesty.
I would say vote responsibly. Know the candidate.
As I said before in my introduction to the golden rule is there, so I know I'm supposed to say it in 2 words, but you know, I'm never able to just say anything in 2 words. But integrity, which goes along with the honesty part, and then also transparency. You can ask me anything and I will give you an honest answer.
Actually, for all 4 candidates, why do you feel you're the best candidate for the position?
I can go. I don't need the mic. I feel like I have a projected voice. I feel my qualifications and my experience as a 53-year-old woman now speaks for themselves. Everything that I do, I would have never ran for this position, never even thought about it if I didn't know that I could handle what is in store for me. Of course, there's going to be a lot of learning for me, but I'm ready to tackle anything and I'm ready to tackle the challenge. I think my experiences and my qualifications speak for themselves.
I believe that both my past jobs have prepared me for this job. With the county clerk position, it's the same, that I have to make sure everything's filed and accounted for properly, or it could cost the county hundreds or even thousands of dollars to fix the problem. Also, I believe that I should be the next county clerk because at my younger age, I am prepared to handle the new technology and the ever-changing election laws. I have the support of the current staff, and I've enjoyed working alongside them during the campaign process. I look forward to a new change for myself and my family, and a new challenge in my career. If I'm elected as your county clerk, I will work hard for decades to come, striving to continue the excellence you have come to expect from the County Clerk and Recorder's Office.
I think it's important to be qualified. I feel my qualifications with my background. I hate to say it, but CPAs are referred to nerds with numbers, so I guess I just love number crunching. I think a lot of the jobs in the treasurer's office involve working on a calculator all day and have the innate ability to work with numbers and understand numbers and bookkeeping and payroll. It just comes naturally. So I just feel like the qualifications are there and it's a perfect fit for my personality.
Just to be
Yes, we tend to think of the treasurer's office as being mostly number crunching. The part that we forget about there, though, is that those numbers affect people. And that is something that is also an extremely important part of the treasurer's office, is the people that come in and how those numbers affect people's lives. And so we also need to make sure that that is taken into consideration. I do have my little card about why I believe that I'm the most qualified. I have the leadership qualifications. I have been on the county board. I do understand the budgeting process that goes along with being in the treasurer's office and working with the county board. I have an economics background. I have a minor in economics, which helps me to understand how everything is supposed to work together. And also part of economics isn't just about numbers either. Economics is being able to understand how the numbers affect people. And the bottom line is we are all residents, we are all people, and we always need to take into consideration how what we do and the decisions that we make are going to affect people. I think that comes also with common sense, and that is part of what goes along with where I'm at. My life experiences have helped me and brought me to a position where I think that I'm able to use common sense and do things that are going to be in the best interest of the people of the county. And then the last part that I've talked a lot about is also integrity. There are going to be people that question that, and when you're out in public and you put yourself out in public and you put yourself in leadership positions, people are always going to question the things that you do and the decisions that you have been involved in. I try to make the best decisions I can in the time and space that decision is being made, and I always try to take into consideration the people that are going to be affected by it. And I think those are the things that qualify me to be the next Bureau County Treasurer.
Questions? No reporters' questions?
Just observing today.
We do have a couple more minutes. Just out of curiosity, there were a couple questions that were thrown out that I did not give you that were from the group, and I was just curious if you want to, actually I think you've answered one of them, but in these times we're looking, we have realized that we're part of a much bigger world. You know, Bureau County is a part of Illinois, is a part of the federal government, and with everything that is changing, what role, if any, do national or state politics have on the offices that you're looking to take hold of? Any thoughts? This is just philosophical. Let's just, I'm not expecting, there's no pat answers. They didn't know I was going to ask this, but I'm curious because we're inundated with things every day.
So yes, and the thought that popped into my head right away when you said that, Bureau County is still a very agricultural county. Agriculture and the businesses associated with it are where most of our residents are going to be employed. And then we have all the service industry that go along with making sure that people are able to live their life. So currently we have the trade war that is going on and the impact that is having on the corn and bean prices. And that then in return is going to impact the ability of our owners, our people, landowners, to be able, and in particular our agricultural landowners, to be able to ensure that they have enough money to be able to pay their property taxes, as well as be able to live on. So there is going to be that sort of trickle-down effect, possibly from national and state policies. State-wise, one of the issues that we have, and again goes to the taxing policies of both the federal government and the state government, is as we have cut taxes both federally and at the state level, actually state went up now, but what happens is the funding that used to be available to our local governments is no longer there. But yet our local governments have to continue to provide the same kinds of services. And so what that does then is that puts a strain on our property tax system, because property taxes still is the main way that we fund our local governments. And so again, federal and state policy is affecting what's happening in Bureau County, and we need to be able to find ways in order to probably mitigate that. We aren't going to be able to change it necessarily as office holders, because we can't just go in and say, you must do this. So we have less control over that, but we do have to think about the policies within each of our offices and how we can try to make sure and help the residents work their way through and understand and how it's going to affect them.
I think at the state and national level, my motto has been vote responsibly, be informed. It's easy to sit back and complain about what's happening both at the state level and national level. I think you need to look at the candidates that are running for office, know their position, vote responsibly. You can make a change with your vote. Simple as that. So maybe not as simple as that, but
I would say for the county clerk's office, just on the state and national level, seeing what new laws come into effect with elections and what rules are changed by the state and national level. So that's the biggest one for the county clerk's office.
I feel the same. I feel the cybersecurity that they're enhancing and the grants that they're giving us to secure our elections for the future, and ever-changing laws to be up on it and to make sure that our staff and the county clerk attends these classes and to be up to par with that as well.
Thank you. Yep, sorry about that. I was curious. Great answers. If there's,
Thank you, Stephanie. Question, all the candidates. Should there be term limits within the county? Your own opinion, personal opinion.
I think if somebody's doing a wonderful job, county level, and they're voted by the people, I don't see anything wrong. Cammie has been in the, here for 20 plus years, and I think she's done a fabulous job. Yeah, like Mr. Birkey said as well, let the people make their decision. I think we're a wonderful county, and I think we're very smart, and I think that we can constantly pursue that.
I would echo that. Cammie has served for 20 plus years. We also are honored. We have two other county officers with us today. Nina served for 20 plus years too, wasn't it, Nina? And did a fabulous job as treasurer of the county. Lori Abrams is circuit clerk, and she served, was it 8 or 6? Okay.
But I worked there for 30.
So people like to put the idea of saying that there are term limits, but there actually are term limits. And the term limit is called an election. Right? If you don't like the job somebody is doing, then, and if they aren't doing their job, then we have the ability to vote them out, and that's what we should do. And and Mary, sir, Mary was here. Yes, and thank you, Mary, for being here as well. I guess I was looking at, but yes, you served for 4 years, correct? And I think we do need to recognize that, and I apologize for that. I was looking more at extended multiple terms, but I'm glad, thank you, Mary Jane, and also our county board members that are here. These people have put themselves out on a regular basis and put themselves before the people of the county and were able to be elected, and that says something about them as well. And I also think we should probably recognize Jerry Long is here with us as well, serving as a state representative, and that is very difficult as well to put yourself out there throughout a very large district and to say, hey, please choose me, I'm willing to serve. We are all up here willing to serve, and I think that's the important thing as well, and we need to recognize that we are out here, we're putting ourselves forward when we're asking for your confidence in your vote.
I think at the county level, the issue is the nonpartisan role that our jobs as county clerk and treasurer play. At a higher level, I think people feel more intimidated that maybe should be term limits, but I think as long as at the local level where we're at the county, and as long as the person is doing their job correctly and efficiently and the public approves, you know, it's not an issue to have term limits for that. Like the other candidate said, we have an election every 4 years. If the person is not doing the job, there's the chance that the public can voice their opinion through the polls.
I am I would say I would not vote on term limits for county level officials. Like they've all said, I echo it as well, that if we are doing our jobs right and are open with the public and are transparent, you guys know what's going on and you approve, then you'll keep electing us into office. So.
Thank you. It was great to get to know each of you a little bit better and to hear some more details. I'd like to thank our candidates, Joe, Rick, Matt, and Jeralyn, for joining us this morning. We thank all of you for attending and participating in the forum. And lastly, to echo the candidates and the voices' vision, the most important voice we have is at the ballot box. I'm pretty sure you are all going to go vote, so I don't need to, to badger you, but that's the way we do it. Thank you so much for attending this morning.